Hey you all. Hey, it's Tasha. It's been a while since I've recorded, a few months. Relocated and came right back to where we started, in this garden here in my mom's house in her backyard. So we got a little bit extra ground. Now we've been moving the cement blocks back and forth, adjusting the soil, tilling it. And all the tilling that we did last year became a big giant pile in the back of the garden, almost edging of it, and ended up falling into the alley right next door, which isn't a bad thing if it was just dirt. But then it started growing grass, of course, because it had still the seed in it, and the whole entire alleyway was just covered with these tall grass and some tomato plants as well. Wasn't bad looking, but I'm sure anybody walking through the alley might have had a little bit of a problem walking through the jungle. So I was pulling them little by little, pulling up the dirt and finding out that it was going over the bricks that I had laid as a boundary for it. So what I was trying to do is I'm bringing the soil in. Now I covered it with cardboard, so next spring I'll be using that soil for flowers since it's so good at growing. There was a lot of red wigglers in there, but also because I want to try to see if I can put some cement on the siding of it so that the dirt just stops running out into the alleyway and it won't clog up the little drains that they have on the end, and then also it won't be in the way. So we're not going to have our garden growing outside of the gate unless it's growing tall and then bushing out. Also, I have discovered that some of the birds like to use my little cape that I have going on right now, my little cover, covering up my baby plants from that winter frost we've had the last couple of days. And the birds are using that as like a little cubby to stay warm because it's clear and there's a little bit of heat going down. It's, it's not clear or transparent, but it is allowing a little bit of shade and a little bit of cover. I have my eggplants growing here. I have about 4 eggplants, and then I also have one on the other side. I have one pepper plant growing here that's growing absolutely beautifully. Not sure if you can see it, probably can't, but it's in the middle and has one beautiful green pepper growing on there. I have 3 kinds growing this year. As for the names of them, I have no idea because all the little tags that were with them initially in spring, they had them labeled. But then as me and my son moved, and as these plants got transitioned into the ground from other family members, then the labels got lost. But one was a red pepper, sweet red pepper, and then this one seems to be green no matter how big it is. I believe it might be probably poblano or just regular green pepper, but it just doesn't have that same thick. It has a little bit of a narrowness, so I'm thinking that this is a hot pepper because I did put hot peppers in the little bit of seed pods. And then some of these plants, they're still staying pretty small. I think because of the frost, it's kind of just like thawed them into submission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a container, take them inside. Maybe they'll grow a little bit bigger. And if they're okay with staying inside and they still fruit, then that's great. If they grow to a certain point and then they are able to be transferred outside, then I'm going to try to see if I can do that. But since the ground, I think is getting too cold for me to transfer anything back in there, unless I already put it in the soil. I've got carrots over here, and I have no idea if they're going to grow. But the radishes were doing pretty well. I put them in the ground about a week ago, and their buds are good. I've been thinning them out little by little because it's really overcrowded, honestly. There's about 100 in there. And then I have some lettuce here, and I put about 50 in the ground, and maybe only 5 or 6, maybe 7 are sprouting. But the leaves are turning like reddish, so it's a mixed green. And then I want to see if I can get the kale to grow. Now the kale I put on the other side, but because it seems to be I walk in that area all the time. I maybe squished about half of it. So it's a shame, but I have some growing on the side. As they get a little bit bigger, I'm going to transfer them to containers or just move them around in the garden. But they're doing all right there in that corner. My tomatoes are still holding up. Unfortunately, some of the slugs got to my bigger beefsteak tomatoes, and with all the experiences that I've had with all the tomatoes I've grown, the shimmers, absolutely wonderful. The Tiny Tims, in abundance. But these big beefsteak, maybe because they don't have enough protection, maybe they're just in this my natural wild garden, the slugs have just devoured all of them. If not, family members have been pulling them off while they were green. So there really was only one or two that I allowed or was able to see go red on the vine. And right now the leaves are all going like tilting yellow and brown. So I'm hoping that it's not blight, because it's then going to ruin my soil, right? So I was just thinking of pulling it out, because I had 3 growing on it, and the slug got to all 3 of them, strangely enough. Instead of just being satisfied with one, it went to all 3 of them, like the 3 bears. So then I'm gonna try to see if I can do this. My marigolds, I'm telling you, they went from these little small plants to like these big puff balls. They reminded me of mums. I'm not a fan of mums too much, but this did it. It did a big full bouquet basically, and it took up about 3 feet wide, and I had 6 of them in here, and some of them were like hiding underneath the other ones, kind of like my sunflowers. Even though they were dwarf sunflowers and I had 5 or 6 of them in a row, only one of them got like really tall, big, took up the whole entire space. And so I didn't have enough time because of moving, and I wasn't able to transfer the other ones that were pretty much growing in its shadow. I could have moved them to a different part of the garden, but it's okay because I know better for next time. Even if they're growing in the same spot, I'm going to separate them as soon as they get to about a foot tall, so they can have their own space to grow. Even if they're next to each other by a foot or a foot and a half, their leaves got to be about 8 to 10 inches each. So on either side, they might need a foot away from one another, and then their leaves can kind of cover over each other, but at least both of the plants can grow big. And then I have my one gray mammoth, which grew about 10 or 11 feet. So we have zinnias growing here in this corner. I don't know if you can see them, actually. Let's see. Right there, they're my zinnias. Here's my little pepper, and it's not really necessarily little. It's pretty big, actually. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's a poblano, right? And then I got mice, guys. Watch. I got mice in my garden. Do you see it? It's so cute. It's just one of those little porcelain doll things. See, my zinnias, I don't know what color this is, fuchsia or something, I guess. And I still have my cosmos coming up. Actually, I had a couple of them coming up, but I got this idea from one of the guys. I'm not going to keep plugging in people who aren't going to see my page. So, but one of these guys suggested that I take some of them that grow in the ground and kind of just like put them in their own container so I can have them for next year. And even though he sells his, I'm just going to put mine in different parts of the garden is all. They did pretty good here. So, I know that this is a good spot for them. But also I want to try to see if I can put them maybe over here in this corner on that side. Not next to the gate, though. I'm going to avoid putting any plants next to the gate because this is what I'm going to try to see if I can put cement. I've already have bricks down here. I did this about 2 days ago. This was all tarped up, and this was where basically when I weeded on the inside of the garden, I would throw, I'm tilling here and I'd throw the weeds here. So, like anything that had overgrowth, I would just throw it in this pile. So this pile eventually got to this big. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's going to go down, right? So I'd put tarp over top, but unfortunately the tarp did not stop it from continually growing. And then I had all this grass growing out here. And so now majority of it's all cleared. I still have 1 or 2 spots that I got to take care of. But, otherwise it's pretty good. And then it's all the way down in the end. See, I have a good, 6 or 7 feet of soil that I can work with. It's like 6 foot by 6 by 1. So I got 6 feet worth of soil that I can use, and I'm going to use it for the flowers next year. And as long as it stays pretty covered, it's going to be protected, and it'll be usable next year. Then I got all these nasturtiums that seem to want to be popping up, but they're like draping over. I had this one plant I still can't figure out. I think I knew the name of it for a while, but this had the most prettiest yellow flowers. And I was collecting the seeds to this. I would call it like a trumpet flower. So it's really cute. It stays like low to the ground. It kind of like drapes. And now I guess they're falling asleep. They're going dormant. They're going to turn over, and eventually they're just going to spread their seeds all in here. This is all a hot mess because look at this. I have put the mammoth, and this is how thick this is, and it got to like right here. The whole entire face was like ginormous. It was like 3 times the size of my face. And when that, when it came off, the birds that come and eat on this line, they're always on this line in this section. They came and would grab it, and then the squirrel would find its way up. Also, I had the little mice, so they were all doing that in the middle of the night. Let's see, we still have some shimmers here on the vine, like a lot of shimmers. Look at this. Do you see this? This is crazy. I don't even know if they're actually going to ripen out here. There isn't a lot of sun right here, so I'm going to actually bring these a little forward. And since there's no sunflower here blocking the sun, I'm just going to let them get some sun, ripen a little bit. We'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. I like to take off these little brown parts, and I usually toss them here. So, and now I really don't have a lot of soil for it to land on, so I would just take a little bit of time to do some of the chores. When I was pulling the grass, I would always get like slices on my fingers. I'm gonna put this over here, get a little bit of sun. I'm gonna put these in the sun. Yeah, see, I have even little babies are coming up. I doubt that they're gonna get to full size, but at least the ones that are full size will get to their color, which is get this like, it's called shimmer. Okay, so look, you'll see. Oh, I don't even know if you can see it. Okay, so that's getting a little bit orangey, right? It's really cute. It gets just red on the bottom. Half of it will be red, and the other side will be green, and they blend together. So let's see. Oh, we got another one here. Give it a couple days. Hopefully it doesn't rain and freeze up. And then these are the big ones. See these? These might be doing pretty good right now, but I doubt. Ooh, I got a lot of leaf in your face. There you go. See? I just got to make sure that there's no slugs that get on this guy. But see, she's already getting the burn spots. These already have, see, these get really messed up because of the slugs. They come and eat them during the day. Or during the nighttime, probably, actually. Some of these are drying out already because of this cold. This was my basil plant. Oh, but she got really ginormous. She was like, guys, she was big. Like 5 times this size, honestly. It's like where my arm is, it was all the way over here, filling all this space up. Uh-oh. I think the cat's been pooping back here. Okay. I'm going to have to take that. And this is one of the dirty jobs, guys. Yeah. So she's been pooping back here. That's not good. Okay. I'm going to have to tell Sassy not to do that. Okay. Let me walk around the mulberry bush. I have some sweet peas. I doubt they're going to grow in there. And the reason why I say that is because those seeds did not look like they wanted to grow. They were a little bit moldy. I'm going to put these, actually I should put this in a trash bag. And I don't exactly have a trash bag right now. You know what? I'm going to hold off on putting that in the trash just yet. And the reason why is because I still have to put my my food scraps into the soil. Let's pause this for a second. All right, here we go. Now, I am on my knees. Begging, please. Okay. Got my gloves. This is my blueberry plant, you guys. I'm so excited to get some blueberries next year. The birds don't eat them. So this soil, actually, this had been a whole section. This whole section, when it was all just cardboard, I used to feed along this side. So this is where the shrimp, because this is where I really wanted the tomatoes to grow. So I put all the shrimp, and I got the clam shells over there. And there's still one clam shell, or oyster shell. That's still over there. It's a little chilly. I got some basil plants in here right now. See, they're not going to get much bigger than this. I don't even want it to flower. Even though I should, because the pollinators at least will have something more to eat. But okay, so I'm just going to put this here. Let's see if this will work. That piece of wood doesn't black this section. Okay, so here's my tomato plant. And all under here, I even put down here in the ground the carrots. I don't see any of them coming through the ground though. Probably because I haven't been wetting them. I don't really want them to be frozen. And I think somehow along the way, all the videos that I've watched, they said that the carrots have to be evenly watered. So I'm going to have to get into the better habit of doing that. Hopefully they are. Yeah, I haven't gone bad or anything like that. So dinner there. We got some scraps from today. We have, this is one that I just could not seem to bring myself to eat. I don't know why. And then we have a whole avocado. We have lemon skins. We have an array of coffee grinds, some banana pieces, banana peel. Even it seems like there's a filter in here, but it's not. It's just a napkin that's been completely soaked in food juices. I'm not going to open this because it smells. Tomatoes, the little top parts of the tomato. The pear center pit. Another lemon, half, some eggshells. It's all dripping everywhere, which is gorsola. And then, let's put this back here on the soil. And then this one's even big, filled. Like filled. More coffee, more avocado. Strawberry pieces actually. And more eggshells. So I'm going to do the coffee grinds at the end because I've been having like these holes in my ground due to, I believe, the squirrel or some sort of other animal. I'll take my little brick, and I actually was thinking of getting some more cardboard. So I'm going to use this cardboard that I have here over the carrots, and I'm going to put this as a cover. But I do believe I need a little bit more protection for it because on the other side I had like 4 or 5 pieces of cardboard protecting. I think I'm probably going to use some of this. I always put this on half and then always at the end I always need it for another section. So strings always seem to know exactly what I need before I need it. Okay. Let's see if I have any tape on here because sometimes I can't get the tape on when it's dry. It takes off when it's dry, but when it gets wet, it can peel off. So let's see. Yep, here we go. Perfect. All right, now, can you see the angle? I don't think you can. Let's see. And this piece of wood is in the way. I'm going to pause this. Let's get this adjusted. Here we go. This is much better. I don't know how long it'll hold. We'll see. Okay. I think I'm knocking over plants. Okay, so now I have a lot of this section. It's already under. It's really, really loose still, which is really a good thing. That means that it hasn't gotten too cold in this section. There's a lot of activity. There's still some food in the ground. I got some red wigglers moving, and this is just the top part, the top surface of it. This is good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get the shovel over here. I'm gonna move these pieces here. Oh, talking about that, and I got old oregano, so I'm gonna put that in the ground as well. Just oregano seeds, and we'll see if I get oregano growing next year. We'll see. When it's seasoning, I imagine. Oh, there goes the centipede. Oh, she's a big one too. Yeah, I don't like messing with the centipedes because they're a part of the natural habitat. So there you go. Oh, she's big. She's really big. Sometimes when they're little teeny ones, I'll take something and scoop them and put them on another side of the garden. When they're big ones, I feel like they remember. to go about maybe 6 or 7 inches deep, because I already have food in there too. And yeah, see, it's already like a banana and stuff. I guess it's because it's not warm enough, they're really not eating it from this section. But there's like an onion layer there too. Yeah, once I put a little bit more cardboard in here, there should be a little bit more movement in this section. I'm hoping. I think I see a red wiggler. I think I see a bigger one, which should be good. And I know I'm not going to see too many here. That's kind of how it started, though. You know, when I first started 2 years ago in October, there was 5 red wigglers in this whole entire section that I found. And then I started putting food into the ground, and fast forward 2 years later, there's like hundreds of them in here. Or at least 800. Because I see them all the way in random spots when I'm pulling up grass. They're all underneath the green root, the white roots. And, you know, doing all of that. They're eating the soil. So here, about 5 or 6 inches. These things are only really maybe an inch below the soil, which wasn't enough. I guess it wasn't enough spacing between the cold weather, the air out here, and the food. It wasn't warm enough, I don't think. So we're gonna put a little bit more one in here. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking of putting some of those dry leaves from the tree in here as well. And put some. I don't want to put any of the green leaves because, well, one, because I don't have any. But, you know, it could be a warm place for them with the nitrogen. But I don't want to take any chances, and so I won't. I won't add anything green other than homemade compost that everybody should be doing in their gardens. So look at that. Look at that. That's like 1.5 worth. That pile. If I go by measurement, y'all, I know it's probably just, if I go by ounces, it's probably about 16 ounces, maybe. Almost a gallon worth of dirt. Liters. 4 liters. 5 liters, maybe. It's good to make your own soil, I feel like, because what happens is, one, you have the soil that you have in your garden, but then also the foods that you eat. Oh, there goes a red wiggler. She's not happy. Oh, I think she's out of her little warm spot. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Look at she's about to go right back in. Come here, come here. Look at this, guys. There's a little guy though. I don't know, you can't really see her. I'll just put her right here. There you go, baby. There you go. For right now. Oh, there's a few down here actually. So I don't want to keep them out of the dirt for too long. I'm going to cover them. Let's put something to cover them. Yeah, so they're almost like 4 or 5 inches down into the soil. You know, they're kind of getting into that sleep mode. They're moving really, really slowly, you know, and some of them can move really fast, honestly. If they were racers, like Turbo. Don't mind me, I'm going to plug in Disney movies because my son likes movies like that. But so I have down now like this little pit, and there's actually a hole in the ground. I believe I might have a spider also in here. So, see it? It's like it's about 5 or 6 inches. My hand's about 5 inches, so maybe about 4.5, 5 inches. It might go a little bit deeper, but I have a whole lot of food, and then I got to put that pile kind of back over it. But I think I'm going to leave some of them here too, just to even out the soil on this top part. I also have this little back section, see it? So when I moved those cement blocks over, I have all this little dip. So I was thinking of evening that out, taking this cement block out, and then putting all that soil back onto the ground, and just evening this out. So this looks like it's a step up, and that's all exposed dirt down there. I didn't have any cardboard or any paper or anything. That was literally just tilled just recently, or raked anyway, not really tilled. I'm not going to disturb the soil as much unless I got to put food into the ground. Oh, these leaves are already turning red. Huh? Chlorophyll is a wonderful thing. Okay, guys, let's put this back over here. It should be, and hopefully it will stay. Let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. I don't know how long this video is going to be, y'all. I'm getting dirt all over my phone. Let's go just a little bit deeper, because what happens is the deeper the food is, the easier it is, I guess it makes it for the bugs to get to them, to the food. I don't want them really necessarily coming to the surface during the winter months. I want them eating it, the food, because, you know, it's for them. You know, it's a feast. It's a feast for bugs. And throughout the whole entire winter, I'm coming out here maybe every 2 weeks and putting food out here. And, you know, it's not, we eat food year round. Why don't they, you know? So let's see. And I know they probably go dormant when there's no food or when it gets too cold, if they have to in different places. But if they're in your garden and they're technically they become your pets, I think. Why not feed them like you would feed a cat or a dog? That's just my logic anyway. You don't have to do what I do. Alright. Now, this is a little bit deeper. That's good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I got to put some bedding in here, right? I got a whole bag full of chopped up paper bags and some toilet paper rolls. Oops. I got a bread wiggler. I got another red wiggler. Oh no, I chopped the red wiggler in half. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now, I do have a few leaves here, right? I'm going to crush them. And I also want to get a whole pile of leaves over there, but I don't have the rake right now. Because the rake is in the closet, in the garage, and the garage door is locked. And the garage door is frozen because of that cold air last night. I have a few paper rolls cut in half. I don't know if I want to put the whole thing in there, the whole roll. It could work, but I don't know if I have enough space. And then I have a whole bunch of just chopped paper that's just flying all over the place. So I'm just going to put that all here for the bedding. And in the end, I'm going to use this as cover as well for the grounds. And let's open this up. I have a tendency to have more food than I have bedding, so during the daytime, during my son's classes, I'm just taking the time to just chop up papers, and it's so crazy because I don't have a shredder. So I'm like ripping these papers during his English class, helping him answer. I kind of feel like that knitting lady, the lady that sits there and knits all day. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here, and this one actually has eggs, but I'm going to do this one first because this one stinks the most. And this one actually is the longest one that's been in there. Get these eggshells out here. Put this there. Soda. Oh, there's a little bit of coffee grounds in here as well. Let's get those. Let's not miss out anything. So scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's here. Let's crush these eggs. I know you could do it at the end, or you can do it in between. It's up to you. Really, in all honesty, this is your garden. I take the suggestions of many, many people. Here's your lunch. Okay. And the reason why I did like 6 inches down is because I want to put the old food on top of it. And hopefully, oh, there's a little piece of celery in here too. Another piece of celery. See how they like that. Bananas, avocado. Yep, a big old tomato. And this is the thing. See it? That big giant tomato. My son actually tried it, and I guess he didn't like it. So again, not growing in next year. And I'm going to put that last. It's the dill that just never seems to get eaten every single time I buy it, but it smells divine, and I love it on salmon. So I'm going to try to see if I can grow it next year, because I think we don't eat it enough. Same thing with the rosemary. I love rosemary once a year. I love dill on my fish. But if I don't eat it all the time, buying it and putting it in the refrigerator is a waste. Sorry about the sound. They're doing construction across the house, across the yard, literally right next door. The neighbor hired someone, and they're building the second floor and a porch right now. So I'm going to do this quietly, I guess. Okay, now, ground oregano, put this all in here. I know I'm like overwhelming my buds, but I don't want to hold on to it anymore. And the last bit. They're going to have a big, giant feast on this bunch of coffee grinds. Whoops. Is that? Okay. That's going in the recycling bin. And this is one of the leaves. As big as this is, it was ginormous, and it's all curled up. This is one of the sunflower leaves, and technically I should be adding more of the sunflower to it, but I put it along the edging on the other side where the cardboard is, so it'll dissolve, and the red wigglers that are on that side will eat that one. Plus, they're so big, the stalk of it is so thick, it would take up pretty much the whole entire section here, so we're just going to keep scraps for here and wood for the outside. I got another red wiggler in this dirt. A little guy. Okay, let's put this over here. Let's put him there. So now I think that's gonna be it. And we're just gonna put the ones from earlier, the food. These are like the little scraps of paper. I guess some more bedding. I've been adding actually the cardboard that was here last year was thick cardboard. It layered, and now look, it's like crumbly. So that's becoming a lot of the base. We got some red wigglers here. Let's put these red wigglers in here. And soil up. So where is it? Oh, okay. Can't seem to find where. Okay, there they are. Okay. Hello. Hi. Piles all the way on that side. More red wigglers. Yeah, there's more as I'm looking for it, which is really good. This whole entire section that's really cold is really cold. I can feel the coldness through my gloves. And the red wiggler's like, So I loosen up that soil because it's probably wet too from the rain. And get that red wiggler out of that little frozen ball that he was in. And let's get some of the soil on here. Yeah, here we go. Here are the little pieces of scallion, it looks like. Or the gout, that's what it was. My grandma had gotten rid of from the store. Let's try to put that on there. Another banana. And I guess another piece of lemon. And some onions. There we go. Oh, hi, red wiggler. Get in there. Okay. Oh, guys, I kind of did a rescue thing for a bumblebee. I imagine she was a queen bumblebee that got kicked out. She's a little bit older. She was moving really, really slowly. I guess for the last couple of weeks I've been noticing her, and she walks and then she kind of falls. So I would pick her up and I would put her on the next flower. Something real funny. She's sitting there and she was freezing. And she like takes long naps. That's her, I'm telling you, she's like an old bumblebee. Oh, that's some dirt in my throat. So, oh, I sound like an old lady now. So cute. Okay, so she's frozen there on the pole, and I guess it's just like, because of the cold wind, it wasn't frosting yet, I don't think, but maybe at nighttime it was. She would just like hold on to a branch, or she would hold on to a piece of wood that I have here as a stake, or she would lay on a flower and she would just stay there, and there's no other pollinators around except for her. And I was like, hold on, I said, she's frozen. So I kept picking her up with my glove, right, as I was putting her to different flowers. And then this time I said, oh no, it's kind of cold outside, I'm gonna put her on my finger. So she hangs on to my finger and she just puts her little hands here and put her little hands here and put her little hands here, and she holds on to my thumb. I said, oh, she's cold. And every single time the wind blew, I went like this and she would go like, and so I put her here on my chest. Oh my goodness, y'all, I fell in love with a little bumblebee. It was the cutest thing. And then now, like, I don't know where she's at. She might have died. I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't doubt it, because it's been cold the last 2 or 3 days and I haven't been out here at all. But because I put her underneath where the little tarpish area is, like that's the little cover, I was hoping that she would make it through. I'm gonna go over there and check to see. But if she's not there, it's gonna be sad if she's not. But I have to accept that that's kind of how things go in the garden, that animals live and animals die, and it's not always a nice thing to have to experience, especially like if you have a pet. And most people wouldn't think, oh yeah, like bees aren't pets. Well, we're feeding them, right? And for me personally, any animal that comes to me for food becomes my pet. And eventually, if they're close enough to me that they feed out of my hand or something, then they become my friend. And I know it sounds funny and goofy, but that's how I am. I'm a funny, goofy, cold-bodied little gardener, and that's okay. But not everybody's going to accept that. Not everybody's going to understand that. Not everybody's lifestyle is like that. Not everybody would choose to homeschool their child, and not everybody would choose to do what they can to feed the ground that they have. Some people like to stay busy, and I used to have a full-time job. I wouldn't mind working again, but would I rather work full-time or would I rather garden? I'd rather garden. And it may seem like it's a relaxing habit, but when you make it your routine, and when you work so hard, look at this, how it got eaten. That's awesome.